even in terms of how to get this done, how to have enough support around him? Is this going to be kind of a different challenge?
There's plenty of concern about plenty of things. Boston's a hell of a team. They have a great defense. They've got guys who are athletic and powerful and can get to the rim. And so whatever it takes, we're going to need contributions from a lot of people. And, I think we're perfectly capable of winning games where Steph doesn't have a huge night. It just means other guys got to step up and score for us. But that's something that they've done all year.
Barry in the middle here.
Hey, Steve, Barry Bloom from Sportico. Your first half, you had no offensive rebounds, no second chance buckets until the very end of the half. It seems like you guys take your mid-range jumpers, you take your three-pointers. If they don't hit, then that's it. The ball goes the other way. Is that something that you want, or is it something that you'd like to make an adjustment on?
Well, we've been a pretty good offensive rebounding team throughout the playoffs. I thought that in the first half, it was an incredibly physical game, and shots were hard to come by. We weren't getting past them on offense, so that we weren't really creating any defensive rotations, and which would lead to offensive boards. So if the game can open up for us a little bit like it did in the third quarter, then we're able to get better shots to make the defense rotate, and then you got a chance to get a few offensive boards like Wiggs did in that third quarter.
Anthony on the left.
Yeah, it had obviously been a pretty rough first three halves of the series for Jordan. You put him in late third, and he kind of has that flurry. What can that do for him? Did you see anything different that was going on with him in that second half?
No, nothing different. I think. The deeper you get in the playoffs, the better the competition, the better the defense. So you have to adjust. You got to figure out how to attack, and you have to do that as a team. You have to do that individually too. So Jordan's still a very young player, learning on the fly, but he's had such a great season, and he's so talented and confident that I have a lot of faith that he'll figure this out, and I thought tonight he did a good job of finding his way.
Steve, Young with ESPN. You guys go on a 41-14 run after halftime. What did you or any of the team leaders say at halftime? And then also, after these first two games, what would you assess how you guys have played? I mean, obviously you blew the lead in game one, then in game two you blow them out.
Really, there wasn't a whole lot of strategic change. A couple tweaks here and there. The preparation was mostly about our intensity and physicality, and it was obviously ramped up tonight, and it needed to be given what Boston did in game one. So that's the name of the game in the finals. It's hard to get an open shot out there, and it's supposed to be difficult. Game one was too easy for Boston with the looks they were getting in that fourth quarter.
Last question, Vince in the middle.
Vince Goodwell, Yahoo Sports. Steve, the Celtics' bugaboo this playoffs has basically been to turn the ball over. You guys forced a lot, especially early. Was that a point of emphasis coming in, especially putting Draymond on Jaylen Brown and trying to disrupt that matchup?
I think turnovers are often a byproduct of physicality and intensity, and I thought we brought that from the start. Draymond had plenty to do with that. So did Gary. So did Wiggs. I thought our whole team was physical and intense, and we did a good job of trying to make things difficult for them.
Thanks, Coach.
They switched a few more things, and then turned the ball over. Didn't give ourselves a chance with a lot of those turnovers.
First row in the middle.
Lloyd Manning, CLNS Media. Felt like Draymond playing more on the ball had an impact on you guys in a few circumstances where you're kind of getting into guys. I know you picked up a technical at one point off one of those plays. What do you just think his impact was on how you guys were playing offensively and just composure-wise out there?
That's one player that, he can only do or guard one person at a time. So We had 11 turnovers for 18 points in the first half. And they had 9 steals, so playing in the crowd way too much. I mean, he's going to switch matchups a lot of times and try to impact the ball defensively especially, but we weren't strong with the ball overall, so it wasn't just him. It was, of course, he's going to come out and try to set the tone, but I think we weren't strong with the ball a lot, searching for fouls instead of going up and making plays, especially with their lack of rim protection. So for us, that was a little disappointing to give up 33 points off of 19 turnovers, and that's kind of been a constant theme in the playoffs. When that happens, we're in trouble.
We'll go to the middle. Gary Washburn.
Ime, you guys didn't play great in the first half, but down 2. How disappointing is it when the same third quarter issues happen? And 3, you guys were so careless with the ball. It just seemed like you guys were doing too much, and they took full advantage. I mean, how can you guys play such a drastically different game than you did in game 1?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's been an ongoing theme in the playoffs so far at times. We turn over the ball, make teams take teams out of scoring against us in the half court, gift them some baskets. But it was more of the same in that third quarter, to your point. Like I said, we had 11 for 18 points in the first half and then gave up 5 or 6 more in that quarter and kind of blew it open. And that hampered our offense as well. So for us, it was more, that's a disappointing quarter, of course, but the first half was just as disappointing, only being down 2 and not playing good basketball at all, frankly. And so had our opportunities, came out, jumped out up 9 early, and then turnovers started happening, let them back in the game, and just offense wasn't as crisp with the ball movement and passing. Like I said, 11 of our turnovers were live ball turnovers, 9 of them out of steals. So got to be better in that category.
Right side, third row.
You were switching on Steph early, and he was trying to find space on Al. Then eventually you just went back to drop and just sent over another defender to loose double. What was the thinking on making that switch, and how did they take advantage of it?
Keep them off balance a little bit, give them different looks. Just throwing extra bodies depending on who was in certain spots on the court. He's good depending on who he's in the pick and roll with. Of course, him and Green have good chemistry there and letting Green make plays, so we were choosing who we wanted to double team off of, who we wanted to switch off of, and who play more of a traditional coverage. So just some things to keep him off balance.
Left side, second row.
Matt Votor, Mass Live. Ime, were you surprised that there was no technicals or even double technicals with the Draymond and Jalen dust up there? And you feel like that Jalen, who looked like he was pretty hot after that might have taken him out of a pretty good rhythm that he had going offensively earlier?
No, I was not surprised. There was a double technical not called. Not surprised at all due to the circumstances. But Jalen, no, I think he got some fouls early in the game, and that kind of took him out of rhythm more so than that specific play. He got the 2 early fouls when he was really going early and slowed him down a little bit there.
On the right side, Mark Murphy, fourth row.
Hey, May. In addition to the turnovers, they just came out with another really strong third quarter. You guys gave up 2 really big runs there. What did you talk to these guys about at halftime in terms of being ready for that run that Golden State was going to come through with?
Yeah, that we didn't play a great first half at all, and we were down 2, and gave away a lot of opportunities. And instead of tightening up in that area, we did more of the same. And those turnovers and poor offense contributed to their runs. And so, team that scores as well as they do, we don't need to help.